Is your Instagram theme page making you $0? And I'm not talking about $50 shout outs. I'm not talking about $100 shout outs, promos, affiliate deals, whatever. I'm talking about, are you not making thousands of dollars a month from singular brand deals and you have over 50,000 followers? If this is you, you have clicked on the right video. And if you sit down and lock in during this video and take notes, you are going to instantly make thousands of dollars from your Instagram theme page if you apply everything I put in this video. Now, if you sit here and I'm going to walk you through step by step how I make thousands of dollars a month from each one of my Instagram theme pages, and you can sit here and apply it. Maybe you don't even have an Instagram theme page. You can take the first step and actually start an Instagram theme page, or you can watch this video and then you can go back to scrolling on TikTok and stay in the same exact position that you're in. And then when it comes time to go and work for someone else, you can happily go do that. Whereas people are going to sit here, take action steps, listen to what I'm saying, actually write them down, actually apply them to their Instagram theme page and apply them to their thousands and millions of views that they're already getting, and actually attract brands and make money from their page. And then they're going to take this full time themselves, the same way I have directly out of college. I went to college, graduated from college, and now I run Instagram theme pages full time for myself at 22 years old. And now I'm teaching you guys how to do the same exact thing. So this is going to be straight information. I need you to sit down. I need you to pull out your notepad and take notes on this and actually apply it to your page. And if you are someone with 50,000 plus followers, this video is for you. If you are not making, over $1,000 a month from your page, at least over 500 a month. If you have, if you're right at 50,000 followers, you should be making over $500 a month. If you have over 100K, there's no reason you shouldn't be declaring $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a month from your Instagram theme page. So if that is you and you're not doing that and you're spending hours and hours on content, you're working for free. Clearly, social media is your passion. Clearly, you enjoy what you're doing. And that's exactly the people I'm looking for. It's people that love social media. And I'm going to teach you how to actually get paid for it, how to turn this audience that you've built naturally on your own just because you have a passion for what you do and actually get paid from it. So without further ado, guys, let's get into exactly what I'm going to be talking about today, exactly the content that I'm going to be supplying for you guys. And each one of these things is exactly what I've seen when I work with pages on why they are not making money. And I would say 99% of Instagram theme pages, there's millions of pages out there. 99% of them are not making the amount of money that they should be making. And yeah, $50 promos, those simply do not count. So exactly why you have made no money with your theme page, one or more of these reasons. So implement all of them to your theme page. If you watch this video through and take notes, I guarantee that you are going to start making money with your Instagram theme page. So let's get into it. Why even listen to me? So my name is Drew, and I've been running Instagram theme pages for years now. Social media was a passion of mine. Took it full time out of college because I understood that I am generating millions and millions of views, and they're directed, targeted viewers based on my content. So once I understood that, and that's what you guys need to understand, then you can turn your content into a money making machine because brands want to reach your audience, and you need to find out which brands want to reach your audience. Find out exactly who your audience is. You should know your audience like the back of your hand. You should be able to name the demographics, name the ages, name the male, female demographics. All of this you should be able to just name off the top of your head. You should know your analytics. You should know your demographics like the back of your hand. So I have helped hundreds of students get to where I am at now, taking it full time. Maybe they had 0 followers. Maybe they came to me, they'd never touched social media before. I grew their pages to 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. Maybe they came to me with 5,000 followers. I grew them to 100,000 plus followers. Maybe they already had 100,000 followers. They were growing fine and they wanted to make money just like you guys. I helped them out with that as well. And now they're monetizing easily, efficiently, and they land brand deals on monthly retainers, meaning month after month after month, they have the same brands paying them because they execute on the system that I've put into place for brands to continue to come back. Because it's one thing to land a brand deal, it's another thing to actually have a brand get results from the brand deal. I have made over $10,000, my first $10,000 while still in college with Instagram theme pages, while I was in an internship with Barstool Sports, while I was doing my coursework, while I had an internship at another company. All of this while still growing my Instagram theme pages and making money from them. And then, like I said, I have helped scale multiple Instagram theme pages to 100,000 plus followers, as well as help them monetize. So here's some screenshots, guys. 36 million views off one of my pages in a month. If you think you can't get monetized off 36 million views, you're simply wrong. $1,500. This is within 15 days, so about $100, $100 a day just from views. I can't put all my brand deals in here because they don't really come in payments like this, but this is such an easy way to show, using the bonus program. So I make about $100 a day from the bonus program from one of my pages. As you see here, Daily Athletes, my page, 263,000 followers. Then I even get paid from TikTok and other sources now as well. And like I said, I do this full time. So, all of my pages generate me income, whether it's through digital products, whether it's through affiliate marketing, whether it's through brand deals, which is what I mostly do on Daily Athlete. There's so many different ways to get paid, and this is what I'm going to help you guys do. So let's get into the actual content. So, why 99% of theme pages never make money and how to turn into the 1%. So, the things we're going to talk about today is not understanding what you have built. So many people just simply do not understand what they have built with their page. No niche clarity, weak hooks and boring content, copy and paste pages, posting blind with no system, chasing vanity metrics, no monetization plan, ignoring analytics, inconsistent execution, burnout from doing everything alone, no community or distribution, and the last one, and maybe the most important, expecting brands to come to you. So let's get into this first one right here. Not understanding what you have built. So many people come to me and they're getting hundreds of millions of views. And I ask them, how much money are you making a month? Oh, I get $200. I did a $200 deal here. And they're just complacent with that. So I took this little Instagram post here and went ahead and threw it in because you guys need to understand, if you are getting 100 million eyeballs, there are brands that would pay a lot and a lot and a lot of money to tap into that audience. Instagram theme pages are so unique because they target a specific audience to T. And we'll get into that in the next one, in the next point here. But if you are niche down correctly, the tighter that your niche is, the more money you should be making in the grand scheme of things. If you have a super tight niche, motivational content, it's super tight though. It's like a sub niche within motivational content. Maybe it's David Goggins, whatever it is. There are people that will pay you like, let's say, for example, your content is David Goggins content. David Goggins is getting brand deals for tons and tons of money. Why in the world are you not able to get those same brand deals? You have the same exact audience as him. So David Goggins, obviously a super specific example, but you have a sports page, you have a motivational page, you have a gardening page. It doesn't matter. There are products and there are brands that want to tap into that audience. And even if you can't find the brands, go out and find the products that are already tapping into the audience and run affiliate deals. You can get affiliate codes on any product that you want. You can get affiliate links on any product that you want on Amazon. You guys need to be tapping into this and making money off of this. So my video only got 50 views. Obviously this is a little bit more than 50 people, but you get the point. 50 views is a lot of people, especially if they're unique views. Some of you guys are getting 10,000 views. Some of you guys are getting 1,000,000 views. I know a lot of you are getting 1,000,000 views on Reels, 1,000,000 views on your carousels. That is a lot of people. Now imagine if it was a branded piece of content that got 1,000,000 views. That brand, if they were to go to Instagram and pay for 1,000,000 views from an advertisement, they're going to be paying, I don't even know off the top of my head, $5,000, $6,000 for 1,000,000 views from targeted people from an advertisement. So understand what you have, understand what you built. You've done it on your own. I don't know how or why you started your theme page. Probably just because you like social media. Now understand the value of it. Every single person today knows social media is where the money at. Everyone knows today that content is where the money is at. There is no reason why you should treat yourself any differently. You have some people would say theme pages are even better than being an influencer. Theme pages are a brand. Brands don't ever die. If you're an influencer, you have to wake up every single day. You have to, get in front of the camera. You have to do this, do that. If you're sick, you're screwed. When you have a brand, when you have a theme page that's a brand, you can schedule content out a month in advance and you don't ever have to touch it. You can hire someone else how to do the content for you. Influencers don't have this ability, and yeah, maybe they connect with the audience a little bit better because it's a face. But if you brand your page correctly, you can get the same exact results as people that have, as influencers do. So understand what you have built and don't underestimate yourself. If you're getting tens of millions of views, hundreds of millions of views, you should be making money, and don't just let those views go to waste. Convert them to followers and then start making money off of it. So the next thing is you obviously have to have niche clarity. So if you just post about random topics, you're just attracting a bunch of random different people. No brand is going to want to tap into that. It needs to be very targeted audience. My audience on Daily Athlete is 70% United States based because it's football and basketball specifically. Obviously, I did that on purpose. I want to target United States people because that's where the highest brand deals, that's where the highest paying brand deals come from. So maybe you run a movie page and maybe, 30% of your audience is Indian. And maybe you realize that, the brands that you want to tap into are in America. Well, you maybe need to switch your content up. Don't post, Bollywood films as much. Start posting more, United States movie films and start attracting a different audience. So you can either attract a different audience or just pick, make sure you pick a specific niche. Don't attract a scattered audience, and start to think about your audience and start to think about how can I change my audience? How can I attract a different type of audience? Or how can I double down? Maybe you look at your analytics, maybe you look at your demographics, and you realize I'm targeting exactly who I want to target. Okay, well, now you just need to grow the page bigger. And how can you do that? You do that through the next things we're going to talk about. So without one niche, brands will not pay you. So like I said, you have 20% of your audience is 60 years old, 10% of your audience is 17 years old. There's very little products that people are going to want to pay to get in front of. And the people that are going to pay, it's going to be less money than if you have a very targeted audience. So the more targeted, that's why I said it's sub niches. The more targeted that your audience is, the higher payouts you're going to get from brands. So example, a page mixing sports memes with travel and quotes. No one is going to follow you, one, and two, it's just such a scattered audience. And, some of you guys watching this are like, obviously, but I've seen pages and I've worked with pages that do exactly this. So obviously we fixed them up. We got them onto the right track, but people are out there doing this. So this isn't as common sense as you might think. So so commit to one profitable lane. And if you don't have a theme page, some might say you're at an advantage because you can reverse engineer. You can think about, who do I want to target? What type of content would they consume? And then you can build a whole entire theme page based off of that. Reverse engineer it. Maybe you have a product that you want to sell. Okay. Who is going to buy this product? What type of content will they consume? And then you build the product first and then make the Instagram theme page afterwards, make the content afterwards. And now you're attracting your exact audience that you want after you've already built the product. And then you can just start selling immediately. And don't try to get brand deals. Don't try to sell things until you have over 10,000 followers. If you have under 10,000 followers, you should focus on growing first. First 10,000 followers is the hardest. If you start to push a product immediately at 5,000 followers, whatever, you're just going to make it hard on yourself. Get to 10,000 followers, then worry about the money. But if you're over 10,000 followers, or even if you don't have a page yet, just understand, how can I, what type of content do I want to put out and who do I want to attract? And then understand what type of, whether you build a product, whether you're working with brands, whatever, be strategic about it. Sit down, make a board out of it, get on your whiteboard, whatever, and figure out, who do I want to target, guys. Content is the new ads. Like, brands are done paying for advertisements. Obviously they still do, but theme pages, influencer marketing, all that is taken over just paying Instagram for ads. And you need to tap into that. So that's why I'm making this video. Some of you guys need to do a better job of tapping into this. So low engagement. This is problem number 2. I don't care if you have 1 million followers. If you are reaching 200, likes on a post, no brand is going to care. Brands, not all of them, not all brands, but the ones that are going to work with you consistently are the ones that actually understand social media marketing at least a little bit. And they're going to understand that if you're getting 200 likes on a post, or if you hide your likes on all your posts, your engagement's probably low. With that being said, they might work with you one time, test it out, and then they're going to dump you in the trash. You want high engagement. So if you have low engagement, it's simply either A, you bought your followers, or B, your content is just not good enough. If you make a good content consistently, your engagement's going to skyrocket. There's no way around it. You're going to hit the Explore page every single time. On my accounts, I hit the Explore page 30% on every single post, even my worst performing post, because I put out good content. So You need to have scroll stopping hooks. If they're weak hooks, people are going to ignore them, whether it's a video, whether it's a carousel, whatever. If your hooks are weak, if they don't draw people in, if they don't stop people from scrolling, they're just going to ignore you. Most people just copy trends and without a personality. So I could have easily made a new sports page that just posts the same exact things that Sports Center posts the same exact things that Bleacher Report posts. But why would I ever do that? They run the game on that section. They run the game with that stuff. Let them be. Let them do what they want to do. Understand you need to create your own path. You need to create a differential factor. Your page needs to be different in some way, shape, or form. Yes, I post some content that's the same as what they post, but most of the time I'm posting culture type of content. I'm posting stories on the back end of things that, Sports Center is just posting breaking news. They're posting, trades. They're posting, games that are going on today, while I'm posting, Tyreek Hill's divorce, stories that are happening on the back end of things. That's ESPN and Sports Center. They may not want to touch them because, maybe they want have a connection with Tyreek Hill and they don't want to upset him, or maybe it's just out of their niche. So I created my own lane. I created my own niche, and that's why I'm able to grow. That's why I'm able to continue to bring people in. That's why my audience is 70% United States, because I wanted to target people from the US. So we're using the same formats makes people swipe past. Yes and no. Um, I would have, if you have one type of format and you use it every single post, and I mean like the same exact format, people are going to start swiping past. You should have 3 or 4 different types of posts that you do, and then that will stop people from swiping past. But you want them all to be somewhat similar in the sense that you're creating brand awareness, in the sense that people are starting to recognize your brand and understand your brand in the feel of it, the font of it. You don't want to have different fonts on every post. Your logo should be on every single slide, things like that. People care about emotion, not information alone. I can post the same exact content, and maybe I'll do this as a YouTube video one time. I'll post the same exact content on, where one of them is just talking about the information, and then one of them drives an emotion intentionally. If you drive an emotion, and I mean like really drive an emotion in your content, people are going to stop and people are going to feel it. When people are scrolling through content on Instagram, what the creator, what a lot of you guys don't understand is they are in zombie mode. When someone's scrolling on their feed on anything nowadays, they are in zombie mode. How can you break someone out of zombie mode? You need to tap into a different section of their brain. And how do you do that? You drive emotion. If you drive an emotion to, someone that's scrolling, they just go through, Tyreek Hill this, oh, the Titans scored a touchdown, cool. Then they come across my post that's talking about, this person did this, and it has some type of emotional factor to it. It triggers a different section of their brain and actually causes them to break out of the zombie mode and pay attention to my content. A lot of this is psychological. A lot of this is understanding how, people work. When you got to put yourself in the consumer's um, shoes, would you stop on your own post? Chances are probably not. You need to fix that. So a lot of this comes down to the very first slide. You need to have high engagement. You need to be forcing people to engage with your content, and give them cliffhangers. Give them half the story up front and then 3 slides and then the rest of the story at the end. Make them swipe through your content. As far as data goes, saves and shares matter more than likes. You need to have content that people share to their story. You need to have content that people share to their friends, family, whatever. And a lot of that is emotion. If you drive people's emotion, they want to share it. They want to give it to other people. So saves, obviously, if it's good content, all of these things, all these things like saves, shares, etc., are just telling Instagram that your content's good. And if you do that enough, if you can do that on every single post, Instagram's going to have no problem throwing your content out to millions and millions of people. And a lot of you guys do good with this stuff, but maybe you're not actually sitting down and understanding why. You just do it naturally, or you do it without, really paying attention. And then you'll have one week where, because you weren't intentional with it, you just didn't do it. And then you'll have a week where your engagement tanks, and then you don't know why. This is exactly why. Start to really focus on these things and figure these things out and do them intentionally and consistently. Before you post anything, you should be asking yourself, did I drive an emotion? Would I stop on this myself? Would I like this myself? Would I share this to my story? Things of that nature. So copy and paste pages, no differentiation. So, this is kind of similar to the last one, or to the very first point, as far as like people are just having a scattered audience. If you're doing a copy and paste page, a lot of the times it's going to be hard to tap into brand deals because you have no differentiation. So you either have to be, if you're doing a copy and paste page, you either got to be the biggest page or one of the biggest pages, or you really have to do a lot of outreach, because brands are going to always go to the big pages. There's there's very few times where they're going to go down to a page with 40,000 followers and reach out to them. So if you are a copy and paste page, meaning, there's thousands of pages in every niche, look at your page, go to your competitors. You should know who your competition is. And if your page is the exact same as them, meaning very similar posts, the posts look the same. The posts, you're posting basically the same content every single week. Your page is no different than theirs. And if they have more followers than you, the brands are going to go to them first most of the time. So understand, if you have a page like this, either try to find a way to differentiate yourself, or you got to start reaching out to a bunch of different brands, and hopefully you get to them first before they go find the page that is the exact same as yours but just has more followers. So copying the biggest pages only makes you the discount version. That's what I was saying with SportsCenter, Bleacher Report. I would be stupid to try to compete with them when they have 30 million followers. No brand wants, it's just not going to work. My content, everyone in the sports world sees their content. Why would I ever want to copy them? I chose my own route, and that's what I'll continue to do. And that's what you guys should do too. Audiences want either faster news or a unique spin. So if you are in the breaking news section in any niche at all, you better hope that, like, if I were to start posting trades when they happen, as myself versus a team of 15 to 30 people at Bleacher Report, I'm never going to beat them out. Like, it's just not going to happen. Maybe I can beat them for 5 days, but in the long run, there's just no way I'm going to put out news faster than them when they have a whole entire team that's getting paid to sit there and do it all day long, and there's multiple of them. So they also have insider sources, things like that. It's like, I would be stupid to try to compete with them. So I went with a unique spin. But if you're going to do news content, stories even, you need to be quick with it, and you need to get them out fast, especially if they're big stories. So an example would be, instead of reposting highlights, add a commentary or story. And if you have no differentiation, the other problem you're going to run into is at some point in time, your followers are just going to plateau. You're going to get stuck. So differentiate your page. Try not to be a copy and paste page. The next thing is posting blind with no system. So you need to have a system in place. You should be posting the same amount of content every single day at the similar times every single day. You need to be tracking your content every single month. You should go in and all my people that work with me, we do this every single month. They go in and they check out their content, what's worked, what doesn't work. Some of them, I even have them checking every single week, figure out what's working, what doesn't work, and then post. Some people post without templates, and it just, it takes too much time. You should have templates down. One, it makes your page look more professional. Two, it makes it look cleaner. And three, you're not going to get burned out because you can just churn out posts extremely fast. And then if you're just starting your page, please don't quit after 30 to 60 days just because you don't see any results. Like, especially if this is your first page, it's going to take time. If you went and looked at my first page, like, you wouldn't even know that I was the one that made it. So, winning pages, 3 to 10 posts a day with a repeatable system. I would say, however many posts you can do in a day with high quality, with high engagement that you can actually check through before you post them, and go through the entire process correctly. However many of those types of posts you can do a day, go for it. But if you're just doing 10 posts to do 10 posts, there's no point because your engagement's just going to tank. Closing or chasing vanity metrics. So, likes are not going to pay the bills. You want reach and you want DMs. So you want shares, things like that. A lot of people are just obsessed with like how their posts look and things like that instead of actually how much money they're getting. If all your posts are just tweet posts and you're making $10,000 a month, who cares? If all your posts are super professional and you make $0 a month, you need to fix it. A lot of people think more followers equal automatically more money, and as we already discussed, like you got to have good engagement. You got to have all the other things down. It doesn't matter if you have a million followers if you're only getting 200 likes. A page with 200,000 followers that gets 10,000 likes a post is way more valuable to a brand. Ignoring the back end, if you're not setting up your monetization, I mean, if you don't have a strategy for monetization, you're just it's a whole entire section of your business that you're just ignoring and the most important part of your business. The 1% focus on income driving actions. No monetization plan. So, most people hit 10,000 followers and realize that they've made no money yet. They never thought about how the page will actually make money. Like I said, you should reverse engineer if you're making a new page and figure out how you're going to make the money before you actually make the content in the page. If you already have a page, you should look at your competitors. How are they monetizing? How are they making money? Chances are a lot of them aren't. And that's, kind of the void that I'm filling here. These pages should be making money, but there's someone in your niche that's making money, making bank, does it full time. Check them out, figure out what they do, and then start to implement some of their strategies and start to monetize in similar ways that they are. Options that they ignore, affiliates, promos, tons of different ways to make money. Music promos, it doesn't matter. You depending on your niche, there's more and more ways to make money. Relying on someday brands will pay me. I mean, that's just if you just sit there and hope that brands are going to reach out to you, unless you are literally at the top of your niche, this is probably going to not happen. Unless you're pulling, hundreds and hundreds of millions of views, then obviously you're going to get some. But the way the universe works, if you want to get paid through brands, you need to do some outreach. You need to actually want it. You need to go out and get it and act like it's yours. And then you'll naturally get some brands reaching out to you the first way, on their own. If you just sit there and hope brands come to you and just assume brands are going to come to you, you're not taking any action to get that result. So it's never going to happen. The 1% think revenue first. Niche chosen with monetization in mind, as I've already said. So a lot of people ignore analytics as well. Instagram gives you all the data you need to improve your page on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a 90-day basis. Whatever it is you want to look at, you need to stop just blindly guessing what's going wrong, what's going right. If you post something and it gets a ton of shares and it goes viral, you should double down on that. If you post something and it gets a bunch of likes but no comments and no one shared it, well, you understand what your problem is. You should be looking at this for every post. And now Instagram, they constantly are increasing and upgrading their analytics and how they go about it. Now you can literally, there's a graph showing you exactly how this post performed based off other posts, based off your average post. So you can know immediately what's doing well and what's not. You should be obsessed with your analytics. Some people never check their reach versus followers versus follows. You're missing out on actually growing your audience. You should be understanding which one of your posts gained you the most followers. You should figure out why. Was there a call to action? If you got 2 million views and only gained 10 followers, you're doing something wrong. You're missing out on a ton of free traffic. Some people don't even track their top 5 bottom and top 5 top posts, or excuse me, some people don't track their top 5 posts or their bottom 5 posts. You should be doing this every single week, every single month, however often. The more often you do it, the better. Some people assume content just flopped and then they're just like, oh, this post flopped, and they don't actually go in and check out why it flopped. And then winning creators, they refine weekly like it's a business. Inconsistent execution. So this kind of comes down to everything we've said so far. If you're not consistently going in and understanding what you're doing, understanding why people are viewing your content, why people aren't viewing your content, you're going to have really good streaks, and then you're going to have weeks where you don't get as many views. And the algorithm, it's just a snowball effect. If you know what you're doing and you're consistently putting in the work and analyzing and creating, engaging hooks and all these things, the algorithm is going to lift you up and bring you to millions of people. If you just are randomly posting and hoping, some weeks the algorithm is going to punish you because your content just hasn't been hitting the same. So some people also, they allow their life distractions to just, I need to post one time every single day. I was in college with 2 internships, with coursework, with everything, and I was still posting 3 times a day, every single day. It doesn't matter what comes up in your life. You are not an influencer. You don't have to get in front of the camera every single day. Plan your posts out in advance. Pay someone to do posts for you. Whatever it takes, obviously we don't have money coming in. It's hard to pay someone, I understand, but just plan your posts out in advance. Treat it like it's a business. You have a business opportunity here. If you have 50,000 followers, you're on your way to a successful business. Start treating it like one. Don't take days off. If you fall off for weeks, followers are going to forget that your page even exists. You're going to fall out of their algorithm, and then you're going to lose them. They're going to be a ghost follower. Most people quit before compounding effect kicks in. I call it the snowball effect. If you continue to do well, continue to improve your content floor, you're going to snowball and snowball and snowball and continue to get new viewers. And then you'll have posts from 90 days ago that are still going viral as your post yesterday was going viral. And then that's when your views just stack and stack and stack. The 1% build systems to stay consistent. Don't do everything alone. Hire people out. Posting, writing, engaging is, it gets to the point where it's too much for one person. Once you start to make your money, start to hire it out and then go work on a new page. No leverage is, you're stuck at a small scale. Eventually the content quality will drop. Quitting is easier than scaling. And then the 1% outsource. So, I have interns that work for me. I have other pages that are run by people that, I just pay monthly to run. And, once you get the system down on one page, you can stack it on a bunch of other pages. And this, you can have 10 pages all making you, $5,000-$6,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And, you're set, you're good. No community/distribution. If you rely all on Instagram, things can happen. It's risky. So diversify, get an email list going, get other platforms going, cross post, get a scheduler tool out. Whatever it is, get your content, your audience across a bunch of different platforms, and then brands will start to pay you more as well. If you have 100,000 followers on TikTok as well, maybe you have 50,000 followers on Facebook, whatever it is, that all counts as audience and as a different audience. So brands will pay you to tap into that as well. And even if it's just a Discord group or an Instagram group, that's one way to diversify. And then the last one is simply expecting brands to come to you. Don't have an ego about it. Don't assume that brands are just going to end up in your inbox. Start to reach out to targeted brands. Understand who your audience is, who wants to tap into that, and go find the brands that have the budget and will tap into that. Obviously, if you have 50,000 followers, don't go reach out to Gatorade. They're not going to pay you. They have no reason to pay you. But what you can do instead is find, smaller brands that want your audience, medium-sized brands that want your audience, that are already working with influencers, etc. Find brands like this, tap into them, and start to make money. And if you're someone that has just been trying and trying and trying, maybe you apply these things, you see some success, you're trying to get to the next level, maybe you watch my other videos, whatever, and you still can't figure out how to get to that next level, how to start making thousands of dollars a month from your theme page, how to land retainers. Maybe your page is not growing, whatever it is, go check out the link in the description and schedule a call with me. You can apply to work with me one-on-one. We look through all the applications. If we look at your page and we understand and we say, hey, we can take this guy to the next level easily, we're going to work with you. If we feel as if your page is maybe out of our comfort zone, or there's outside our factors, maybe we already are working with too many clients, we're not going to work with you. So it's completely free to go apply. Go check it out. First link in the description below. Fill out the form, schedule a call with me. I'll get on the call personally with you and we'll talk through it and we'll see what you need to fix. And if you don't want to do that, at least go check out my Instagram. It's also linked down below. I post on the stories every single day talking about tips and tricks on how to improve your Instagram theme page. I also post reels, everything you need. So if you guys want to take your theme page to the next level, you've come to the right place. Check out the links in the bio, and thank you guys for watching.